Happening YouTube, this is Lumario here and I'm bringing you a recap of my experience at Sydney Regionals, starting with round 1 all the way up to top cut. I came 8th in the tournament and today's opponent will be Homeboy. I don't actually remember his real life name, but as you can see to just above me, I've listed both our teams, and as you can obviously see in the main 3DS screen, these are the Pokemon that were bought from our teams. So I bought Suicune, Zapdos, Amoonguss, and Kangaskhan, and my opponent bought Ludicolo, Politoed, Salamence, and Mamoswine. So without further ado, let's replay this battle and go through a commentary. Okay, so yeah, he leads Mamoswine and Salamence, and I lead off with Suicune and my Zapdos. Now I'm not too fussed. My thought process here is I'm not too fussed about the Salamence because I'm pretty certain I can take it out. Mega Salamence only gets a base 10 increase in special defense, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll go ahead and Mega Evolve Salamence on the first turn, and yeah, Mega Salamence can be obviously a really big threatening Pokemon in terms of damage output. And I just decided to protect here my Zapdos, fearing either the Icicle Crash or an Ice Move from the Mamoswine. Now the Mega Salamence goes with Dragon Dance, and here that raises quite a bit of concern for me. So obviously the damage output from Mega Salamence I'm not going to like taking too much. So the Mamoswine here just goes to Icicle Spear, but I have protected myself, and I decided to go for the Scald on the Mamoswine just to get pretty good damage off and maybe even get a burn. Fortunately I don't get the burn. The Mega Salamence gets a return off. But luckily for me, I am bulky and I do have the Citrus Berry. And yeah, this turn I decided just to deal with the Salamence. And we only just missed out on picking up the KO. So the Mamoswine here will just go for the Icicle Spear, and it will hit 3 times, which will be enough to take out my Zapdos, unfortunately. But what I did focus on this turn is just double targeting the Mega Salamence, as the Mamoswine also revealed their Life Orb set. So yeah, down Salamence goes because we just could not have that +1 threat hanging around the remainder of the game. So the opponent now sends in Ludicolo. So yeah, I send in my Kangaskhan, and yeah, so we actually have a faster fake out here because rain is not up. So recall my Suicune and switch into Amoonguss, and we Mega Evolve this turn into Mega Kangaskhan, and yeah, so he protects this turn with his Mamoswine, and now I went for fake out onto the Mamoswine, so that was a very good play on his part. Ludicolo goes to the Scald, and unfortunately this turn Ludicolo picks up the burn. So very unfortunate set of circumstances for us. The better play perhaps would have been to fake out Ludicolo, but he just withdraws Mamoswine and goes into Politoed. So that will set up the rain for Ludicolo, giving Ludicolo the speed advantage. And yeah, next turn I just protected Amoonguss. So just to see what he wants to go for, because he wants to go for the Ice Beam, and we get a double edge off here with Mega Kangaskhan, and we get a crit, which makes up for our burn. So we won't do as much damage as we could have done the second hit of Parental Bond, but we do get a crit nevertheless in the first hit. So I believe, yeah, he went for an Ice Beam here, and I was protected. So he draws the Ludicolo and goes into Mamoswine again. And now I'm just trying to Sucker Punch, Sucker Punch his Pokemon just before I go down. But interestingly enough, he goes to Scald on the Amoonguss, so he's got me thinking he doesn't carry Ice Beam, or he's just trying to get the burn off for residual damage. But either way, I do get off a Giga Drain, which helps me recover a pretty significant amount of HP. So I'm almost thinking as well that this Mamoswine is carrying Ice Shard, but it just goes for Protect instead. So very smart play to have made on his end. So yeah, my Sucker Punch fails, and he will take out. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, well I died to burn damage. but he just continues to target Amogus with Scold, so yeah, it's led me to believe most of the battle at least that he did not have carry Ice Beam on his Politoed. The in comes Suicune, and yeah, we did protect the previous turn with Amogus, and we go for a double protect because in this position there's no other players can make, and thankfully I do pull off double protect. So Politoed is going to continue going for Scald there. Mamoswine goes for Icicle Spear, but thankfully I've pulled off the double protect, and we can knock out Mamoswine this turn with a Scald, which is a very good thing for us. This will bring my opponent down to his last 2 remaining Pokemon, and obviously it was Ludicolo in the back who switched out before, and Ludicolo just goes for Fake Out this turn onto Suicune, and the Politoed goes for the Scald. Thankfully will not get the burn. It's good for us. So Suicune is flinched from the Fake Out, but Amogus goes for the Giga Drain here, and we knock out the Politoed. So it's now Ludicolo being the only Pokemon left, and fortunately for us, the rain will stop this turn. So now I'm in a very decent position. I just want to damage Ludicolo as opposed to getting off Snarl, I'm thinking here. So, but the Ludicolo's damage output is also a concern for me as well. So as you can see, Giga Drain Giga Drain almost took me out. But Suicune thankfully is very, very bulky. But I also have to factor in Ice Beam hacks, such as getting freezed. So decided to Snarl this turn just to put the Ludicolo at -1. So he gets off Ice Beam, and it just goes to target Suicune, which would knock it out anyway from that range. So yeah, we're just trying to minimize the amount of damage, and Ludicolo can get off, and our staying power to win the game as well. So yeah, because if Ludicolo even got a freeze, you'd have to rely on getting a crit, and we could still try and outlast it. But thankfully, that none of those scenarios do occur. We do get off a Giga Drain, and we take out game 1 with useless crit as well. So good game to Homeboy. The double protect certainly did change the whole pace of the game, and yeah, it certainly made up for all the misplays as making Sucker Punch earlier as well. But those again, I was thinking in the back of my mind, I suppose at the time, that the Mamoswine was carrying an Ice Shard. But yeah, look forward to the next upload. I did, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I did come in the top 8. So I came 4th in Swiss overall, and yeah, it's made it into top cut as well. So thank you again for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series and this content. Please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, take care.